Yes, your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another double spending episode. Today I've got one from my main man, Kenn Bosak. I was on his Not Another Bitcoin podcast show. Always a pleasure going on his channel. He's been on my channel numerous of times. If you haven't, check those out. I'll try to leave a link to those in the description below. But today, this is a conversation we had about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, about Bitcoin. This was before the blow up, so you'll be able to see what we're talking about and how we're viewing Bitcoin before this major rally we've seen in the last 2 weeks. A lot of gems dropped here by my man Kenn Bosak. Make sure you guys go follow him too over on YouTube and on Twitter. Links in the description below. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out of here. Holla!
Bruh, we're live. Hey, how goes it?
What's going on? As we say in Detroit, what up, dog?
I thought you were going to say, what up, dog? And I could be like, what's up, dog?
Nah. What's going on, Ken?
Hey,
what's
Blood,
new,
how
man?
goes it? A lot. I've been fucking around with these NFTs, man. I don't know if you've been, dabbling in those at all. But...
Well, yeah, I'm actually, remember we talked offline after my last stream. I had you on my channel, and I'm working on that project. I don't want to say too much about it, but...
Right.
It's going to be a game changer. I'll give you updates on it.
All right, well, I want to let people know real quick. All you have to do is like, share, comment. Somebody's going to win some kind of money. So if you want to win some crypto, like, share, comment, 24 hours. Everybody. Somebody's going to win. Everybody's going to eventually win. I give away every single day. It's really easy. Like, share, comment. Done. All right, so let me go over here, check this out. All right, cool. Everything's good. Why don't you go ahead and let people know a little bit about what you've been up to, though, recently? Like, what's been your field of view, or what have you kind of been, like, tunnel visioning on in the space right now? What's got your... Because, I mean, there's a lot happening. We got full-blown momentum again. I'm just curious, where do you tap in and tune into?
Yeah.
DeFi, NFT, TA, FA, where are you at?
Well, I'm a TA god, man. I call myself Cryptodamus on Twitter. I'm pretty accurate with my predictions. So, I said earlier about a month and a half ago, I said that we would probably touch 20K before the end of the year, not in 2021. So we just basically had to break out of a critical pennant area that happened back in October. So when we did that on October 9th, bro, it was over. I knew it was over. Yeah. That was a long-term pennant from 20,000 down towards the like 10,000 range or whatever. And then the bottom side of that pennant was coming up from our lows of like 9,000, somewhere around there. So once we broke that, it was over. So we're going 20K by end of November, I would say, to be honest with you.
Do you see this as like a shitcoin reconsolidation period, or do you look at this as a Bitcoin diversification period? Are people pulling their alts into Bitcoin, or are they looking to get their Bitcoin into alts?
Right now, they're pulling into Bitcoin. So they're coming out of alts, but it's always going to rotate.
Right, and so I was just wondering what rotation we were on.
Yeah, the money's going to slosh around. So right now, because if you recall, like about a month and a half ago, Bitcoin was consolidating and all the DeFi and stuff was going crazy, right? So those funds, gains or losses, people FOMOing in or out, they sold out of those tokens and projects and went into Bitcoin, and it just continued to rally.
Right. So what we've seen was like the ICO boom was the ICO money kind of flow back into Bitcoin. Exactly. And what we're seeing now is the DeFi money flow back into Bitcoin.
Exactly. So there's no clear resistance from literally after we broke 14,000. It was a wrap. Like, I think I can show my screen here. Yeah. Yep. So once we broke this dotted green line that I've had here for like over a year, that was when it was over. Like,
I hope you made an NFT of this. This is the shit people need to be tokenizing.
Yeah, right. You're right. So no, like, bro, it's over. We're going all-time high now. There's really no path of resistance until all-time high. So
And I predict, and Avi, not financial advice, but I predict the same kind of occurrence that I predicted when we were at $1,000 all time high. Like I got into Bitcoin at
hmm
like $400.
yeah, I
I
got in low.
saw when it hit $1,000 that was a glass ceiling. Shards were going to fall and blood was going to come. That was
Yeah.
inevitable due to the Mount Gox all time high. That
Yep.
20K all time high, again, I predict glass ceiling. We will shatter through it, but those shards are going to hurt on the way down. We're going to see a dip at 20K. People that have bought in at 20 or in between 15 and 20 finally have waited a year or two to break even on it. Same thing with that Mount Gox 1,000. People bought at 1,000, they waited to get back to 1,000, and they broke even, cashed out. And we see new people come in from that, but we did see some old blood leave as well. And I think we're going to see some old blood that's been in the crypto space leave, when we see these new all-time highs, and new people will come in and take their place. But I think we're going to see a decent cash out from the all-time
Really?
highs.
At all
Yeah.
time highs, you think?
Yep.
Hmm. I don't know. Like, I can see
Bitcoin's
that's I
Bitcoin loves nothing more than its patterns. I mean, it
oh for
loves
sure.
its patterns.
For sure. And that scenario is not like that's out of, the realm of possibility, right? For sure that's possible that we see a pullback right at 20K. I think we blow past 20K very violently, and then we pull back to 20K ish, somewhere around there, and then start the pattern all over again.
I'm with you. I mean, a lot of the institutions that are getting into this, that are putting in, 50 million with Square and like 300 million with X, Y, and Z, like hundreds of millions of dollars that institutions are investing into this. It's not for day trading. It's not for riding waves. It's minimal long-term investment, meaning 5 to 10 year holds. They're not actively shorting
Right.
it. They're not actively moving it. And
And that's
this
kind of
this
the
is setting like
difference.
a foundation for the price. It stabilizes it linearly somehow.
Yeah, and that's kind of the difference from the rally in 17, because I had never seen anything like 17 before, man. Like you said, I'm consider myself kind of OG in crypto. I got in at maybe 85, $84, somewhere around there. And you, like you said, the $1,000 marker, that was a Mount Gox. Um, because if you recall, remember Mount Gox was like had a premium of about $300-400
Yeah.
against everyone else. And to me, I'm like, why? There's something going on there to see a premium over at Mount Gox, and everyone else is trading lower. So I think the difference between 17 though and now is that 17 was kind of like the VC guys, right? The venture capitalists coming in, investing in various ICOs. As you mentioned, this go round, we got a lot of the longer term capital coming in, like the Squares, like the Micro Strategies. They're putting up hundreds of millions of dollars, not for a trade, but for a hodl for 5 to a decade, like you said.
I think they're looking at it with the same past tense hindsight, saying, well, if we would have done this 10 years ago for a 5 or 10 year plan, where would we be at today? And they're probably not even considering the fact of all the forks. A lot of the companies that got in before the Bitcoin Cash fork are very well off compared to the companies that got in after, because they have multiple coins now in their basket. And I think as we go farther into the Bitcoin, legacy, we're going to see old Bitcoin appraised at a much higher value than new Bitcoin. And I get a lot of shit for saying one Bitcoin doesn't equal one Bitcoin, but that's because I fucks with Bitcoin way too much. I know that one Bitcoin don't equal one Bitcoin.
You
If you
know,
get
if anybody,
if you got one Bitcoin from Silk Road and I have one Bitcoin from my miner and it's a Genesis, Virgin coin or whatever, how is that equal? How is one Bitcoin that hasn't been split and has forked coins as opposed to a Bitcoin from Coinbase today? And I think as we go farther, people are going to value those legacy Bitcoins, and that will trickle into the value of a current Bitcoin. So when we see, I think it was like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin moved on chain a couple days ago.
yep, I saw that.
That was huge. So when we start
That
to
was
see,
that was
yeah,
old money
old
too.
Bitcoin. Exactly what I'm getting at. That when that old money starts moving in and those old Bitcoins start trading, that's why I think we're really going to see the price go up in general. Is because old money is starting to move in and they value their Bitcoin. I don't. They don't give a shit what the exchanges say. They value the Bitcoin at what they set the prices. So when we start to see those legacy coins move, we start to see these new gen coins move with it. Same, I'm talking
Mm.
about Bitcoin, but I'm saying old Bitcoin, new Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So I'm when I saw that, I was immediately thinking of like the argument of, and we can get into that too if you're interested. I think this is a cool convo, but like space gold and how it could like hurt the
Come on,
value of
man.
gold on Earth. I don't think that's the case
You
personally.
really?
Oh yeah, I totally am against. I think that's a wrong perspective, bro.
What? Well, like I said, we can get into that one. But to kind of piggyback on your point about the old money and stuff, I was a little concerned when I saw that Billy move around from those old wallets. I didn't know what was going to happen. Were they just positioning themselves to possibly dump just in case?
Even if they
I don't
do
know.
dump, who cares?
Well, it's going to have a very micro, short-term effect on the price. It's
Not
not
really, man.
long-term.
It
It's
used to. No, it used to. I mean, if
well,
Fox News
look
says
at okay,
China
look,
bans Bitcoin, Bitcoin don't even move up 1% on that news anymore.
yeah, but you got to look at it. It depends on how those bitcoins are sold, right? If you recall the Ponzi scheme, I forgot the name of the biggest Bitcoin Ponzi scheme when they were dumping they dumped
BitConnect?
a no, it was bigger than
Yeah, I
BitConnect.
was thinking it has to be when you said
Yeah,
it.
I forgot, but they dumped 1 billion on an exchange, and it flash crashed and caused like a 10% move down in Bitcoin. But again, 10% down in the grand scheme of things, you look 5 years out when you're up 1,000%, it doesn't really matter.
And artificial flash crashes, I mean, anybody with money can do that. It's going to cost them money, but that's for anything. I mean, if somebody's a whale in gold, they could do the same thing. And that's to defend the fact that people will just say, "Oh, it's manipulable." I hate the fact that people say Bitcoin is non-manipulable when it comes to like its
It
value. If anything, it is the most. It's
for sure
intended to be
is.
manipulatable.
For
The
sure it
price
is.
needs to be manipulable, otherwise it's pointless.
It no doubt is one of the closest thing to a free market asset we have on this planet.
Yep.
Nothing else has, because if you look at like gold, right? Gold has one central or two, really one central location for price discovery, which is the COMEX, right?
Yeah,
There's
one
no
main oracle.
there's no segmented, fractioned price discoveries like we have in Bitcoin, where there's exchanges all over the world, right? They're just the price is literally coming from market discovery,
It
price
doesn't help
discovery.
that our markets never close. We don't take a second to just take the night off. We're
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day, all the countries, every country,
I
all
love it.
around the world.
And that's how it should be.
Exactly, and this is why I love volatility. I think being in crypto as long as I have and being all in on Bitcoin has really made me appreciate what volatility is in either direction. It is natural. It's part of it's almost like a natural law financially
Mm-hmm.
for volatility and things like that. So when I see Bitcoin 5% up, 10% down, things like that. I correlate that to seeing milk going up 5% or their gas going up or down 10%. It's the volatility's always been there. It's just now it's on my money instead of on my on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I've been way more comfortable with volatility. I'm not a fan of stability. I don't think it's real. Like I don't think even the concept of like a stable coin is true. It's kind of like a hypocritical, asinine concept to say stable coin when we
Mm-hmm.
even seen stable coins as far as like the USDT. It goes down under $1 or it goes up over $1. It fluctuates. It's not stable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. There are some new stable coins that are coming out that they're trying to fix that,
I've
right?
seen some Bitcoin stable coins recently, man. I mean,
Mm.
that's the coolest part of 2020 for me was running into a projects or two that are building Bitcoin stable coins. So, it's one coin that's worth $1 worth of Bitcoin, So no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, this coin is always worth $1 worth of Bitcoin. I was like,
Nice.
this is the kind of stablecoin I want to use as a Bitcoiner. You know,
Yeah.
DAI's cool and all, or USDT works, but I would prefer to do something with Bitcoin. And seeing, people decide to get more involved with using Bitcoin outside of it being a speculative tool and to build, stable coins with rootstock and RSK. This is what I've been waiting for, I mean, half a decade, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember trolling RSK when they first came out, and now it's been years, and not much has really come out of the camp as far as
True.
like the real hype bells and whistles. But to see people finally starting to put some progression into it and utilize it is it's comforting, man. To see like people don't think how to use Bitcoin outside of speculating with it. But a lot of people are going to take Bitcoin out of circulation to build on it and to use those satoshis to code on top of. I got it. I was lucky enough to talk to what the fuck is his name? Steve, the dude from Apple, Wozniak. I got to,
Wozniak.
yeah, I got to talk to him, and the dude doesn't like trade Bitcoin. He builds on it. So like when he gets Bitcoin, he uses it. He burns it to see what he can do with it. And I just thought that was interesting. I think a lot of those people out there and companies out there aren't just speculating on investing in it and trading it. They're trying to figure out how to build on top of it and use it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I think you kind of mentioned this on my show. Your thoughts about Bitcoin and it really being basically um like a Ponzi scheme, pretty much.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as if I buy today, I need you to buy tomorrow at a higher price, right? And so that's most assets. But you talked about actually using it. I think we've gotten so far away from using it nowadays. I'm sure you understand that from being in Bitcoin so long. Like it used to be like, yeah, we're going to use this thing. Now it's all about hoarding it
Mm-hmm.
and all about, again, selling it to the next fool, the greatest fool theory, right?
Yep.
Selling it to the next greater
That's
fool.
that's Bitcoin. It's the greater full coin. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's really what
It
it's
is.
all about.
And most assets are. Think about it. A
Mm-hmm.
house is. Same with a house.
But it's the
You buy a
only
house.
earnest one, right? I mean, with the open ledger, the way that it works, it's the only completely honest Ponzi scheme. That's Bitcoin. The
I
public
agree.
ledger makes it honest. We
Yeah.
know what it was last sold for and last bought for. So I can make an honest decision on that speculation, on that volatility.
Yeah.
Unlike with a lot of other assets that aren't. I have no clue what they've sold gold for unless they tell me, and I have to trust that. I can't verify it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I hear you. Definitely.
And the counter
So
trading. I mean, I don't know if you want to get into that a little bit, but a lot of people I know recently are starting to get a little bit woke to the fact that like Robinhood isn't their friend. And like a lot of these exchanges really aren't your friend. They're just metadata mining you and trying to counter trade you with the algo. I think that's going to get really interesting when we see the larger institutions put in their, stop losses, their buy orders, their sells, and I think that what's happening to us individually when we see us being manipulated by the exchanges and powers that be, they'll do the same flex to the institutions when they get in, except they're going to have a louder voice about it. They're going to want regulations. They're going to want a lot of this stuff that we don't, but we'll beget a lot of the safety from it. We're getting treated like shit because we're not corporations. We don't have teams of lawyers for these exchanges to be held accountable towards. But coming into the space with like Square and a lot of these other things, like it's going to get to the point where I think it's going to get safer because of it. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen without caution or without warrant. There's going to be an obvious sign of this like counter trading happening at an institutional level once we start to see the wolves of Wall Street really get involved because they're not even here yet.
yeah, and to your point about as far as Bitcoin and how Robinhood does trade against you and stuff. I think that's what makes blockchain a even bigger industry or thing than Bitcoin itself because eventually you're going to have your stocks trading on the blockchain
Mm-hmm.
where you won't have the ability to do that,
But do they
right?
want that, right? I mean,
No, they
obviously,
don't.
it's
They don't.
best, right?
They don't. So
So
they'll
why
it,
would
it
they do it? Why
well they
why
won't
would we see it?
they won't do it. It will be by force and it'll be very slow.
Do you
It'll be
think
a
we'll see a
slow
competitor for
process.
the Nasdaq? Something seriously
Yes, like a
competitor wise?
Dex
Yeah.
Dex Nasdaq. Yes, but again, it's going to be so slow because of all the red tape. They're going to legislatively make sure it doesn't happen for a very long time.
I think it's going to be one of these fucking DeFi projects that overtake the Nasdaq when it comes to the market cap of dominance and user base. I don't know if it'll be fucking Uniswap, but bro, it's going to be one of these the DeFi dexes with the tokenomics that they have now. There's nothing institutional that can compete with what we're doing these days. Even if you lose, you're still making something. You know, you're
Yeah,
still getting something from your losses. You don't get a Robinhood coin for providing, any value to Robinhood. But I get Uni when I do loss, even when I lose out, bro. If I send some Ethereum over there, I earn Uni, which is crazy. And a
yeah,
lot of these traders are going to look at what we're doing and the tokenomics that we're involved in and look at the economy that they're in and say this isn't obviously this is blockbuster. We need to Netflix the hell out of here.
yeah, yeah, and it's going to happen. Speaking of Uni, I think he's up 24% in the last 24 hours.
I'm just gonna say I called the
So
top, I sold the top, and then
okay,
I bought back, kind of in the mids.
nice.
I bought back around 420 because I
Okay,
thought the
for
price looked. I thought the price looked
it was
funny.
attractive.
Right, it got me. Obviously, it went a lot lower than
Oh
that, but
man, that's funny.
I thought it was funny when
I
it
do
first came
remember you
out.
getting out toward the top.
I told everybody, I was like, the only people buying are the ones that didn't get it for free. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, you realize this is just a hype day. It
That's a
launched
problem.
today. It came out with too much news. There was no buy the rumor, sell the news. The rumor
Right.
was the news, and it was all within 24 hours. That's why you had to buy it and sell it within that exact time period.
Yep.
Otherwise, there was no opportunity for buy low, sell high. It was too quick. So I mean, dude, instantly as soon as I saw that airdrop, I was like, "All right, cool. I'll see what I can do." And then I saw Coinbase announced it was listing, and I was like, "All right, time to sell." There is no more news to keep the momentum going. What could be the next thing, right? Like, oh, Binance lists Uni or something. Like, it would need something huge to keep that momentum going within that 24-hour period. And I just didn't see it being sustainable. So I was just
Well,
like,
you were
peace.
better than me because I ended up getting out very prematurely. I think $2.90 or something like that. So because like for those very reasons that you mentioned, I said, okay, why would someone be buying this token when it was airdropped to them? I'm thinking it's only going to be a wall of sell pressure. But again, in the midst of this whole DeFi bubble, you have irrational exuberance. That's what Greenspan, quoting him. And it just people, I don't know, for whatever reason, bought it up when the token supply was a lot, man.
I
So I was
know.
looking at the tokenomics. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna take the free money and then I'll come back later. And that's what I did. I came back. Still didn't get in. I did get in a little bit below where I sold, like
Okay.
$2.50 or something like that, 240.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of the projects coming out, and this is all inspiration. We're going to see a lot of projects try to get involved in this redistribution of, I don't know what to call it, I guess, cyclical value, like whatever the platform brings in. Even
Yeah.
Wax just announced they're getting into this with the NFT space. I know Meme Coin really kicked all this off, but Wax is the OG NFT blockchain. So
Yes, it
Wax
is.
is
So
getting
we're
involved with providing Wax liquidity to a pool, and then you can earn Wax because you bought things from Wax, and like, ah,
speaking of wax, I'm now over at EOS Detroit. I'm VP of marketing over there, and we're doing a lot of things on Wax. We're doing some development for Wax, BTC Origins. I'm actually having Jeremy from BTC
I
Origins
got
on
some of their NFTs,
later
I think,
today.
from Atomic Hub. I think they're already on there.
Atomic Hub, absolutely. We
Oh,
did a lot of
cool.
development for that website, BTC Origins. We
All
did the
right.
dev for that. EOS Detroit did. So,
Respect, because I actually have some of those, or I follow them. I mean, I'm pretty sure I already
very
have
good
BTC
artwork over
Origins.
there at BTC
Yeah,
Origins.
yeah.
Very good artwork. So yeah, Wax is actually, and I was talking to Rob over at EOS Detroit about this yesterday. It's
I
just
want to
so
talk to
sad.
Rob again.
Yeah, I'll connect you guys, or you got us contact.
Well,
But
I did an interview with Rob probably like 2 3 years ago or something like that, like right after EOS built out and I think launched their ICO, right? So they just made like $4 billion.
yeah,
Rob at the time, and I don't know. Obviously, I know how it turned out, but I don't know what happened of like the whole thing. But he had like a bet that I think it was like I don't know the number, but he bet somebody X amount of EOS that amount would be worth $1 million, and if not, like they would win the EOS or some shit.
okay.
I just don't
I
remember how much EOS it was, and I'm just curious how much it was when he lost the bet or whatever. Because I know it didn't.
uh
It didn't get to the milli.
no, no. With EOS again, tokenomics, there's a lot of tokens in supply, and they haven't done, they meaning, I guess you want to put that on black one, block one. You can
Yo,
kind of,
if they
you can kind
wanted to pander, that now's the time to do it. Rebrand to Black One.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. But no, like, people want to blame block one for not really doing a lot to promote it, but isn't the whole purpose to not promote it? It's supposed
Yep.
to be the community's
Yep.
blockchain, right? I mean, so it's
Bitcoin
damned
does.
if you,
Satoshi doesn't promote Bitcoin. Bitcoiners promote Bitcoin.
yeah, but at the same time, I think they kind of stepped away too much.
And
And so, it's
I
a
mean, when you
balance, I
make four
guess. I don't
billion
know.
dollars, how much momentum and how much energy do you really think people have? How hungry do you think EOS is right now? Because I don't think they're very hungry. And
So
until
block one, I'm not. I don't know personally, but my assumption is a lot of legalities. It's a
yeah,
lot of legal frameworks with it, which what they're trying to stay inside
and
of.
Voice highlighted a lot of those issues, or at least a lot of the speculation around the issues. Right? They
Okay.
tried. I know like Voice got a lot of shit for not integrating directly on EOS and doing a lot of like KYC stuff, but again, it comes down to the regulation stuff, and
See,
this
when
is
you
why
go
like
down that
corporate.
pathway,
This is the
bro.
difference between a corporate
Yep.
blockchain and a
Yep.
fucking anonymous blockchain without
Well,
a CEO
well,
that
here's
can
the
be
thing.
arrested.
We have to differentiate EOS IO and Block One. They're two different. They're two separate
Right,
entities,
but that's
right?
trying to separate Ripple and XRP. Without Ripple, XRP is fucked, right? Without Block One, EOS is fucked. And it can. You're right. In theoretical whatever, anybody can pick up the fucking reins. But
And
who?
we've seen it. We've seen it
Right.
with
No, for
Wax and
sure.
other. You're right.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
who on a $4 billion rug pull if that were to happen, right? Who?
Hmm.
Who would step up and who would even trust? Who would dap on it? Who would want to buy server space? Like you got to think, like, dude, EOS is just like in a position with Bitcoin. If it doesn't work, it never will. It doesn't have that gray middle period. Bitcoin can't half work. It either does or it doesn't. And EOS it works for now and it's working.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
working.
do worry
But
about the legality issues where, things start to not work because developers are arrested and shit. Like that does concern me when it comes to
you
companies
talking about
behind
like
blockchains.
Block One
Block One,
devs?
yeah, Block One
Okay.
devs, and
Okay.
they fund
Okay.
a lot. They fund a lot of the
Startups and
startups and
stuff.
stuff. So without them, it would be really hard to see this progressing. Same thing with like Ethereum and the Enterprise Alliance. If we see the
Sure.
Enterprise Alliance fall apart, it will be
Sure.
really detrimental to Ethereum progression because they won't have that key ingredient that's helped them get to where they're at today.
Agreed to a certain. It would be bad for Ethereum, but the thing that Ethereum has on their side is that the dev community is a lot bigger. So you get what I'm saying?
No, I
That's the
do,
only
but I
thing.
mean, how many times have you seen Vitalik, come in like Justin Sun and say, "Here's a bunch of money, keep building what you're building"? Never,
Hmm.
never.
No, never.
So like with the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, they kind of do that. They're like the Shark Tank. They come in and they're angel investors. Without those developers that you're talking about, they'll go to a blockchain that can help them when.
But does any blockchain out there? Is there any blockchain that's successful on that level? Meaning in the top 10 of coins right now by market cap, any of those not have that hybrid model going on right now, where they have a foundation that kind of supports and backs up the development of
Litecoin.
that blockchain.
Litecoin. Now that Charlie walked away, I was really trying to think like, oh shit, you got me.
Uh huh.
Litecoin. Charlie walked away. Whatever would have happened already happened. You know what I mean? Like so,
So, but
if
they
the
still have
Enterprise
the
Alliance,
Litecoin.
right? If the
They
Enterprise
still have
Alliance
the.
walked away, we would have what Litecoin has today because he already walked away. You know what I mean? Like if Vitalik were to die, this is what you know. What I mean, so Charlie could die. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? He already technically did. You know, so it's not detrimental at this point. He removed himself. They could try to safely remove themselves from the equation. You know, if this were to happen, like
So
Block
what
One could
about
try to step back safely and make it without them.
what about Litecoin Foundation?
Yeah, but that's not that is more decentralized than the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance or Block One. Yeah,
Okay.
that's that. I mean, it is more established in that sense. But even
Hmm.
if the foundation were to be like held to legal recourse, the individuals involved in the foundation would still do what they're doing. They just wouldn't do it in a group consensus anymore. You know what I mean? They would just keep doing what they're doing, just on a more hush hush level.
How do you feel about like coins like Litecoin, the legacy altcoins that were the cryptocurrencies, right? How do you feel about those going forward? I'm not too optimistic or excited about them, to be honest with you.
Oh wow, I'm the opposite. I
Okay.
think a lot of the coins, because of their legacy, will have more advantage than anything. That's Bitcoin's biggest advantage is its legacy. Why is Bitcoin better than X, Y, and Z coin? Because it has legacy. That's really it. It comes down to Bitcoin's been around longer. Oh well,
Yeah, it's
why
got the
does that
brand.
matter?
It's got brand equity.
Well,
It's
yeah,
got brand
exactly.
equity.
But not just that, it also has blockchain legacy, which is, this blockchain has been attacked a lot longer than your blockchain has been attacked, and it still hasn't been compromised. That
Hmm.
legacy has value. So
Yep.
even if a coin comes out today and has 1 year of legacy, it doesn't have that same security as Dogecoin. So I think a lot of these legacy meme coins can prove their security through their legacy. They'll have more value than these pop-up ones. But again, the pop-ups have the momentum. They get the hype. They get the FOMO. They get all the press and attention. But I don't think we're gonna see people like Elon Musk be the CEO of Uni. But we will see him say he's the CEO of Doge, because these legacy coins, not just brand recognition, but they have legacy recognition. They have some secure
Nostalgia too,
establishments,
right?
right? And nostalgia, exactly. This is why Pokemon cards still have value. It isn't They have no fucking utility. It's nostalgic value of why one Charizard is worth six figures.
Yeah, I don't think like Litecoin is going away. It's not going to go away, but I just see coins like Litecoin. What's some other coins that are
I
like
don't think
just
any of these coins are going to go away, man. People are going to choose to use their currency based on like the title, the color, the logo. The same reason
exactly.
we pick
That's
our sports teams, we're going to pick our shit coins, and that's
I
fine.
agree. I agree. So like Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, we got Bitcoin BSV. Um, what else? I
I
think that's
actually
kind of the
think
last.
BSV is fucking awesome. I don't fucks with it, but I love what they're doing, man. I
They actually
love
are
the
doing some
community.
nice
They're
stuff over
fucking
there.
the BSV
They're
community
very
is some
innovative.
toxic pieces of shit,
They
cesspool,
are.
but they're fucking innovators. They're builders.
But
They're
it's a
doers.
shame that
It's
that
developer heavy over at
it is.
BSV.
It is, but I don't think it'll ever
Oh
come up
no,
from up under
no.
the shadow of
Could you imagine
Craig
if
Wrong.
Hitler created a fucking
There you go.
cryptocurrency? Because that's
There you
how
go.
I think it's
If
gonna
if
be
Hitler
looked at.
created Bitcoin,
Right.
it would never get anywhere.
Right, and unfortunately, BSV has Hitler as their fucking front man, so it ain't going anywhere. But
It ain't
I
going
think
nowhere.
what they're doing is really cool shit, and I give credit where credit is due. And I
Yep.
love a lot of these altcoins and forks a lot more than I used to. I really appreciate the amount of time, effort, and energy that these people put into their blockchains, because everything they do contributes to Bitcoin, even if it's competing with Bitcoin directly. It's all Peachtree dish bullshit. If your altcoin can do it, Bitcoin can do it, and it will do it better if it wants to. Bitcoin Core is just going to look at what BSV is doing and just take all the best ideas.
I just think I don't think, like I said, I don't think BSV, but BSV is a little different because they actually have the ability to have smart contracts run on their blockchain. They're a little bit different. I can't even put them in the same, but like a Litecoin, I don't see them going away, but I do see them dwindling in market share as everything else grows. I see them going down the
You don't
list.
see it sticking to that one quarter pair?
No, I
Hmm.
don't. I don't. I don't because I think more people are going to just use these stable coins
The
for
legacy,
fast,
the
for
legacy, man.
fast.
People are gonna look at
Yeah,
Bitcoin and Litecoin and be like, look, if I got X amount of Bitcoin, I should have X amount of Litecoin. It's a hedge. It's like, it's like investing in, one bank or whatever. You're gonna invest a little bit in their competitor. If you invested in
right.
Blockbuster, you probably had
And that's
Hollywood
why I don't
video
think it's going to.
stocks.
That's why I don't think it's going to go away.
And that's why
With
I
them
think the one quarter
implementing.
pair sticks, though. I mean,
Hmm.
as we go farther into institutional investments and we see
See, I see
corporate
the
money.
DeFi. That DeFi wave is just going to get bigger and bigger to the point where it's just going to
Yeah,
overshadow. Just
and
my
these people
opinion.
are going to want to provide, and we're not going to, I mean, all right, so I'm with you on this, but I think we're going to see a lot more interoperability. Like wrapping fucking Bitcoin onto Uni, do that with Litecoin. And now Litecoin is in the conversation you were just having. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
is.
we're going to be able
It
to see
is.
these institutions go, oh, we could have X amount of Litecoin, wrap it, put it into a liquidity pool, and get dividends of wrapped Litecoin back, and just keep adding the Litecoin we get from our dividends back into the pool that we provide liquidity to. That's cyclical. I learned a new
Cyclical.
word, cyclical. Okay, it wasn't easy to say when I was looking at it. It's not written the way it sounds, okay? But yeah, a
Oh man,
cyclical
yeah,
economy or a cyclical tokenomics. These are what
yeah.
institutions want. They want their money to make money just for being their money.
No, I hear you, and I would say the one thing I was proud about the Litecoin community doing was going ahead and implementing that Mimblewimble. Well, going taking those steps.
Right.
They're not done yet, I don't think,
This
but
is why
they need
Bitcoin
more.
needs Litecoin, man. Segwit, Mimblewimble, and X, Y to Z to come, man. I mean, without Mimblewimble on Litecoin, Rootstock wouldn't have something to look at and be like, okay, this is what we can do. This is what we can't do. Same thing we did with Segwit. Bitcoin, without Litecoin, Bitcoin still wouldn't have Segwit integrated. I can
I agree.
guarantee that.
I agree with that. Yeah, I
Yeah, how
agree with
long it
that.
took us to get Lightning? And then it's
Yeah,
again, thanks to Litecoin.
yeah, but Lightning, that's a whole nother situation,
It's
bro.
not Bitcoin, bro. I get shit all the
It's
time.
not.
Lightning isn't Bitcoin. It's a
No,
coupon redeemable for Bitcoin.
that's literally a its own token. I
Right.
tried to tell. It's LBTC. Is like, yeah, but whatever. Again, humans innovate, right? And Lightning couldn't do it fast enough. So guess what? We have Wrap BTC, and that completely eliminates and solves the speed issue with Bitcoin. There you go.
Yep. And we're seeing a lot more wrapped Bitcoin being used than Lightning, and it's only X amount of weeks old, and Lightning's been around for over a year, and it's already got more volume and liquidity in it. Yeah, I don't think this whole Lightning thing's going to take off.
Nah, it's
Personally,
not.
I'm not a
I've
fan
been
of it.
saying
Never really was a fan of it.
I get so much flack for that, but yeah, me either.
Yeah, I tried using it, and I mean, my first physical engagement with it, there was a arcade machine at a conference, and it accepted Lightning, so you could play a round of like pinball or whatever, right? Like instead of putting a quarter in the machine, there was a Lightning QR code. I tried to send it Bitcoin from my Bitcoin wallet, and it would not work. And I'm like, but it says it accepts Bitcoin. Oh, but it
You
accepts
gotta be a
Lightning.
lightning
But I'm
lightning
like,
wallet.
but that's not. If I can't send BTC to the address and it doesn't accept Bitcoin, it accepts Lightning Bitcoin. You
Bitcoin.
might want to have a different sticker on your fucking, machine here, bud.
Yep.
It's
I
like saying,
know.
oh, we accept credit cards and then you only accept Visa. What am I supposed to do with my Mastercard, bro?
Right. I agree, man. I totally agree. Totally
Oh.
agree.
I guess we can kind of dig into a little bit about like the whole correlated concept. I know again you're a big
Mm.
TA guy. I'm curious to
Mm-hmm.
see what your thoughts are on the concept of correlation, and I'll kick it off with my perspective, bro. Is there
Okay.
is no correlation. It's a lot like the little girl from the fucking Matrix movie with there is no spoon. It looks like there's a spoon. It even feels like there's a spoon. But bro, I'm telling you, there is no correlation. But like, please, where do you sit on this?
I mean, I look at the numbers, right? So literally the numbers show that there's about a 50% positive correlation. It has been month to month with the S&P 500 and Bitcoin.
So what you're saying is there is a chance.
Yes, there is a correlation. It's not 1 to 1. It's not 100%, right? 100% is every time every time the stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up. Every time the stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down. No, you're going to have a couple of days in between where the correlation breaks. We saw that, but now if you look like the last 2 days, again, the correlation is locking back up. Last 2 days, stock market has rallied like crazy. Bitcoin has rallied like crazy. And I actually have a chart here, bro, that you can see the orange. I know I got a lot of scribble scrabble on here, but the orange line graph is the S&P 500. Now that looks pretty correlated to me.
A little bit.
I mean,
we got some.
It's not 1 to 1.
Some extra dips in ours, but I see.
But you get what I'm saying. It's not. No, it's not going to be 1 to 1. But it is currently, and I don't like that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like that we're correlated. But I sat back and thought about it. If more Wall Street money pours into Bitcoin, especially like we see with Square, MicroStrategies, why are they going into Bitcoin? For a hedge against, or kind of a hedge against inflation, right? But that's kind of indirectly still kind of tied to what's going on with stock market. So
the stock market decisions are motivating their crypto decisions.
There you go. And if more money from the stock market is coming over, that means that's going to increase the correlation. And
so do you think the correlation could get tighter instead of looser? Because I think it could get looser. It sounds like it could get tighter.
And I think if more. So let me ask you this: who's going to come in? Is it going to be the everyday person like us that's going to buy up all the Bitcoin, or is it going to be Wall Street cats that's going to buy Bitcoin?
Well, now that the on-ramps are built for them, it's them. I mean, we had 10 years for us to get in.
I agree. And if that's the case, then if the Wall Street guys are going to be ones kind of bidding us up, then there's the correlate. It's going to.
I look at it as risk a possibility. Risk yeah, but see, that's the thing. The hedge against it, the counter trade of it, right? I think we could see a more decoupling of it, and that's because of. If stocks go down, they're going to hedge that money into Bitcoin. It's going to counter. Mirror. It's going to look very opposite, very yin to the yang. The more stock market money comes in, the more stocks go down. The same reason gold used to go up, right? They would hedge against stocks with precious metals, and we would see them. They would seesaw each other. They would mirror.
in a normal market,
right?
Absolutely. But with all this easy money, they're buying. These guys Wall Street is buying everything. That's why you see the bond market. Bonds prices keep going up with stock market prices. That didn't usually happen in the past. It was like you said, it was a negative correlation with bond market and equities.
Right.
Now they go up at the same time.
Well, that's a lot to do with pairing in hedge funds, right? Like they're all in baskets printing now, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's going to happen. They're going to basket ETFs, a lot of this.
Yeah. So it's a different market nowadays. Yeah, in the past, I agree with you.
I hate talking to people like you, man, because that shit, I mean, I love having my perspectives changed, but I hate when it happens. You know what I mean?
I hate that it's happening, actually, because my whole premise in saying, oh, here's a brand new asset class that's not going to be correlated with stock markets or any other traditional markets, Bitcoin. I love it. That was kind of my core reason for getting into it. So it is what it is. But
is there anything that could make you not want to be involved anymore? Because I've seen recently a lot of people that left this space still haven't really come back, and I don't know if it was. I'm starting to believe. I don't think it was price related. I don't think it was that there was a Bitcoin winter. I think some people have been jaded and just aren't going to come back until it is mass adopted. But is there anything like that could kind of turn you off to the space? Anything that you're kind of
not the space. Blockchain, no. I'm so excited about NFTs, DeFi. That's going to be so big. Bitcoin, I still think it's going to be the most outperforming asset class in the next 100 years.
You don't think anything like a Libra coin will outperform or take like a Bitcoin flippening occurrence? Because I mean, we're still only at like about what 1 to 2% global dominance. You know, fucking Facebook and Amazon, they already have more active customers than we have active Bitcoin users or even active wallets. So I'm curious, like, you don't think that it's possible to see like a Libra
Not,
coin pop up
not
and take institutional money away from Bitcoin?
it may take. I was one of the ones right when the white paper came out about Libra. I said this is not going to launch, and the reason in its at that point current form was not going to launch was because they were trying to. So back then, the first iteration of the Libra coin, they were literally going to um have a bat. I think they were going to was it a basket? It wasn't a basket at first. I think it was going to be like $1 to
No, it
one
was a
Libra.
basket. It was supposed to be all fiats, as many different government currencies as they could get. They were going to try to use those government fiat currencies
That
to
was the
back their
next
basket.
I think that was the
Oh, was
iteration of
it?
it. Yeah, the original one was just they were going to fiat to like US dollar to Libra. I said that's not going to work because that now shrinks the demand for US dollars. Central banks ain't going to have it. And that's exactly when they pivoted to a basket of various
Okay.
currencies around the globe. So those are stable coins that hypothetically or theoretically should be a stable coin. Libra should be.
Right. Well,
It's
that's
kind of
why when
a
I look at
basket of.
what Libra wanted to do and why I think it has a chance to be like a true competitor. Honestly, I really do. I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin, bro. Like I wear it with pride, you know. But I'm a realist. If you know J.P. Morgan or God forbid the Federal Reserve decide to get into this, institutionally through KYC and through accredited investing and brokers, hedge fund managers, all that regular institutional bullshit, they could create a currency for their stable coin. You know, like we have, you know, DAI backed by Ethereum type shit. Well, we can get Ethereum and we can get DAI, but maybe they'll have whatever equivalent to Ethereum that we can't get into without being accredited, but we could use that stable coin that it's backed by. I think those moves, like when we see institutions look at Uniswap, I think that there is still time and real potential for market cap
Oh, don't get me.
dominance to
Yeah,
take
don't get
over
me
in a
wrong. Also,
centralized
market
way.
cap
Right,
dominance.
like more
Okay.
money in a
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
institutional blockchain than in
I
Bitcoin's
said
blockchain.
this. I said this a year and a half ago. I said the first token to eclipse the market cap of Bitcoin will be USDT.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I totally agree. Either USDT
But
or the Federal
or
Reserve's version.
one of the well, I won't even count them. That's their. I mean, at least I'm talking about one of the crypto born created in tokens, not
Okay.
some
So
external.
you think one that already exists today?
Yeah, within our ecosystem, I think USDT will be the first one to eclipse Bitcoin's market cap. But that doesn't mean anything because that still just means USDT at $1,
Right, exactly,
right? It
exactly.
just means more money in it. I still think Bitcoin is
It
going to
means
be the
more
safest.
interest to be earned on Celsius with stable
Oh
coins too.
yeah,
Dude, they have such
yeah.
they're making the banks pissed. I know it. Like the banks are looking at shit like Celsius and going, "How can we incriminate these motherfuckers? We need to sprinkle some crack on them real quick."
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Who would
Again,
hold
that's
a dollar bill over a stable coin when you can get like fucking 12% interest on it a year?
smart.
Or point
The
zero 0.01 on your
the
dollar
smart
bill.
money hasn't even figured that out yet. Wait till they get into it.
That's where you're right. I
Start
really
dumping
agree
all the
with you
money
on the
in.
stablecoin taking over dominance thing. And
Oh, it
people,
is.
they're not ready for that. But I'm like, you got to think, we pair Bitcoin to the US dollar. There's
Hmm.
already that paradigm of more dollar than
That's
Bitcoin
right.
in value. So,
That's
of
right.
course, the stable coins are going to see more in market cap
Yep.
than in Bitcoin. That's
Yep.
inevitable.
That's
But nobody
inevitable.
wants to get into that. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. And when it happens, it's going to surprise a lot of people because nobody else wants to talk about it.
Bitcoin is going to be the safe haven of digital assets eventually. Like it's going to outperform any traditional assets, but inside the crypto sphere, it's not going to be the most outperforming asset class. I
No.
think you got a lot of sleepers. Um, altcoins,
And
DeFi
we
coins,
haven't even
whatever.
seen institutional forks yet. You know how much
Exactly.
Bitcoin these motherfuckers are holding right now? You don't
Right.
think they're incentivized to fork it and go, whoa, we can double dip. We can fork the Bitcoin thing. We can make JP Bitcoin or whatever they want to call it, right? And now they have their Bitcoin and they can eat their shitcoin too. It's a double
Mm-hmm.
dip win. And that's where I think we're going to see a lot of the attention go institutionally is they're not really going to want to compete with Bitcoin. They're going to want to
Yeah.
complement it in some way and work with it. And
Yeah.
forking it is the best way to get their version of it into all the hands of the version they want to compete with. So, if you're holding BTC, how does JP Morgan get their shitcoin into your wallet? Fork Bitcoin and give everybody that's using BTC JP BTC and call it a day. So I think like a lot of that may be coming into this space too. We've seen individual forking, but we haven't seen institutional forking yet.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, bro. So we'll see what happens. But I'm still in crypto. I'm not going anywhere. I think it's still the best place to be, in my opinion.
At least for right now.
At least for right now,
I
right?
hope
You
in 10
can't say
years
what
it's
the future.
boring as shit. I hope that we're talking about like imagine us right now being this hype about the fax machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want Bitcoin to be in 10 years. I want it to be as like stupid of a conversation as like hyping up a fax machine today. A lot of people
Yep.
don't realize, but every single Fortune 500 company in New York City has a fax machine, and they need that shit to work. But nobody talks about how important it is to their business, but it is,
Right.
and it's very legacy technology that's been preceded hundreds of times now by better tech,
What's
but it's
up with that?
still
That's
but it's
crazy.
still institutionally detrimental to success needing that fucking fax machine.
That
And
is so
that's where I
funny.
want blockchain to be. I want it to be so ubiquitous to what we do, or ubiquitous, I think, ubiquitous to what we do, that
Yeah.
we just don't even acknowledge its existence because we're so spoiled by it. Like 100 years ago, yeah, plumbing, and having a toilet that flushed, that was
Right.
like revolution. Everybody was talking about it. Today,
Right.
it's expected to be in our lives, and that's where Bitcoin and blockchain will be in 10 years. At least I hope so. I hope that it's so boring and outdated of a hype cycle, but I mean, it could still be this. It could still be at six figures, the same speculative mystery at that value. The price of Bitcoin doesn't change. It's Schrodinger's, box situation. $1 million
The dead cat.
Bitcoin, right? $1 million Bitcoin or $1 Bitcoin. That doesn't let you know that it's dead or not. If Bitcoin went to $1,
I
it
say that.
doesn't
I used to
hurt
say that
Bitcoin.
all the time.
Bitcoin will still
The
be
tech.
Bitcoin. It still
Yep.
works as Bitcoin at
Yep.
$1. At $1 million for one Bitcoin, it still works as Bitcoin as long as it works. Until it doesn't, and that's why I say Schrodinger's box is all we can do is let time tell if this is or isn't a dead thing in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree. We agree on that one. We'll see what happens though, bro. I'm excited though, as far as the next 3 years in crypto is gonna be, I think, an eye opening event for those who aren't in it.
I'm
Those of us
hoping
in
that
it,
it isn't a price. I hope it's not the price though that really pushes. And
it
I know
is
it
going
will
to
be,
be,
but
bro.
I
You
hate
know
that.
it.
It's so
It's the
dumb.
superficial stuff. I mean, it is what it is.
But this is
It's
the
gonna
same,
be the
and this is
price.
the thing that bothers me, and it's so like it's just repetitive or whatever, right? But the people that look at Bitcoin today and say, "Oh, it's over 15 grand," I should have bought it when it was under 10. If Bitcoin were to go to 9 grand right now, those same people would say, "Oh, well, good thing I didn't buy it." There's no winning, right? Like those kinds of people, and I don't know what's going to be the catalyst to really set that over the edge, or to get those people that claim like they cry. I guess, yeah, instead of crying wolf, they cry FOMO, right? They're like fake FOMO. They're like, oh, I should have bought, and then the price dips, and then they never get in, and then it goes back up, and they just keep having that cycle of like Jackal and Hyde. I should have bought. Oh, good thing I didn't. Oh, I should have bought. Good thing I didn't. And
Buy at the look. Buy at the top. Sell at the bottom.
so where do
Those
you see
people.
this mindset being decoupled? Is it going to be when McDonald's accepts Bitcoin, or is it going to be X, Y, or Z? I don't know what's going to be the catalyst that really pushes those people that are on the edge over it because I think we
See,
have
I
a
don't.
lot more than 1% on the edge.
I
More
just
people
don't.
watching us than are actually us.
Right. I don't see a McDonald's accepting Bitcoin moment. There's no need anymore. We have so many like bridges between crypto and fiat now that last mile really doesn't mean anything. I can buy Bitcoin. I can buy a McDonald's with my crypto card, debit card. So I don't see that being a meaningful event for us. I think what we saw with PayPal was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was huge.
Cash
Now,
App, Cash App wasn't that huge.
no, it wasn't because Cash App isn't that big isn't as big as PayPal. PayPal's accepted. Oh, I mean,
Who's
it's a
next?
big boy.
eBay? You think eBay's gonna do this next?
No,
No.
I don't think
Well,
so.
they have the PayPal integration and partnership, so I guess technically,
It's kind of, yeah,
but
right.
yeah, I don't know.
Because it got to be for auction site. It's got to be some barrier, some buffer there, right? Because if I sell something on eBay and it's fraudulent and I want my money back, well, hell, if I paid in Bitcoin, ain't no getting back.
There's really cool platforms out right now. Shit, what's the name of this company? They're gonna kill me because it begins with a P. P something. Damn it. Uh, it's a private marketplace. It's almost like Silk Road,
Mm.
but they have a really interesting escrow for insurance. So, say I'm buying like $100 item from you. If it costs $100, I put $50 up in the escrow for the insurance, and so do you to cover the value of the item that we're trading between each other. If you don't get the item and you say, "Hey Ken, I never got it," we can say, "All right, let's let the insurance trigger, and we'll redo it." We both eat half of the loss. So you're half incentivized not to fucking lie about receiving it when you actually do, and I'm half incentivized to actually ship you the item I genuinely sold you. Otherwise, it's a half of a wash. It doesn't, So
I
I
got you.
think
That's neat.
these escrow ideas are going to make a lot of that possible.
That's neat. That's neat.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, and it's private, so like you can't see what I'm selling unless I send
Okay.
you the link. So I could sell fucking weed or whatever, like Silk Road
Mm-hmm.
style, but it's like almost like a Tor or like a dot onion thing. You can't
Gotcha.
see my marketplace unless I let you in with the private key.
Yes. Hey man, like I said, humans are innovative, and we're going to innovate and make our lives better one way or the other.
Yeah,
So
big facts, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. If you want,
for sure,
anything
bro.
that we didn't get a chance to talk about or anything that you were looking forward to, talking about, now's the time to bring it up or just, show yourself, let people know like where to go to get involved with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a really productive, great conversation as always, bro. I love coming on the show. I don't know what I saw a tweet from you last week or so. I'm like, let me go on his show again.
Thank you.
And I was like, so yeah, I enjoyed myself, man. You guys can find me on Twitter at CryptoBlood_. Search for me on YouTube, Crypto Blood. I'm also, again, as I mentioned earlier, VP of Marketing over at EOS Detroit. So check me out there. We're doing a lot of exciting things. That's it, bro.
All right, man. Thank you very much. And guys, if you're watching, don't forget like, share, and comment for a chance to win some crypto. All you have to do is request $10 in USDT from FIO at KENN. If you're not familiar with FIO, go ahead and check it out. Join FIO FIO. And if you have an Edge wallet, just send a request at FIO at Ken for $10 in USDT. Every 24 hours, somebody gets it. So everybody enter 24 hours later, somebody's going to win. Every day, somebody wins. Crypto Blood, have a day, everybody.
Holla. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you like, comment, and share. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. Click that bell after you subscribe too. That ensures you're alerted for every video post I put up on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter as well, CryptoBlood_. That's it. Holla.